Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President Asif Ali Zardari, Senator Engineer, I love this title, Roxana Zuberi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the privilege of joining you at this inauguration of this important conference that brings together two key aspects of the U.S.-Pakistan bilateral relationship: energy security and women's empowerment. I applaud Senator Zuberi and the Women in Energy Organization for putting together this conference to discuss the confluence of these two critical issues. President Zardari, thank you so much for lending your support with your presence here today, reflecting the high level of importance that the government of Pakistan gives to the energy reform as well as its commitment to women's empowerment. As we work together, we look forward to achieving great things in support of these two shared objectives in Pakistan. The timing of this event could not be better. The government of Pakistan has embarked on a fundamental effort to reform the energy sector. These reforms are key to Pakistan's economic and social development and future security. For without steady sources of power, industry cannot sustain production, and farmers cannot irrigate their lands. But energy security is also relevant to the daily lives of average Pakistanis, especially to women. And by increasing energy availability, Pakistan will improve the health and welfare of its women. About 35% of Pakistan's villages are not connected to electric power lines. As a result, fuels such as wood and livestock dung make up a major source of energy in rural areas for cooking and for other activities. But these biomass fuels generate indoor air pollution that causes respiratory illness, affecting women, who do most of the cooking, of course, disproportionately. Improved access to reliable sources of electric power can also address safety issues for Pakistan's women. For example, many villages and now cities lack electricity for streetlights, which constrains a woman's ability to move safely after dark. Pakistan's commitment to developing clean, indigenous, and renewable sources of energy is wise, and Pakistan can count on strong support from the United States and its many other friends in this endeavor. The Friends of Democratic Pakistan, a group of like-minded countries committed to helping Pakistan accelerate its economic and political progress, recently collaborated with the Ministry of Water and Power to produce an integrated energy sector recovery plan. Much of the ongoing government energy reform effort is now based on that plan. For our part, the United States is providing funding to enable the Planning Commission here and other government entities to gain access to valuable technological advice on energy sector reform. We are supporting the repair and rehabilitation of the Tarbela Dam hydro plant, as well as the Jamshoro, Gudu, and Muzaffargarh thermal power plants. Once these projects are completed, these power plants will regain 400 megawatts of power generation capacity that has been lost due to deferred maintenance. Through our assistance programs, we are helping to improve the operational and managerial capacity of Pakistan's power distribution companies and reduce power distribution losses that are currently running at 30 to 50%, so they can provide more energy to their customers. It is estimated that just a 1% reduction in transmission losses in the country's power network would result in a net gain of $97 million in revenue. Think of what that means in terms of the ability of the power sector to redirect that income towards reaching more villages, providing better quality services to paying customers, and generating revenues for the distribution companies to invest in essential infrastructure maintenance and upgrades. We are also working with the Water and Power Development Authority to complete two high-priority energy projects. These are the Gomulzam Dam that will serve South Waziristan in the federally administered tribal areas, and the Satpara Dam in Gilgit-Baltistan. I recently visited these two projects and saw for myself how communities can benefit from the added power generation. These projects will also provide irrigation water for more than 200,000 acres of land and provide flood control for the downstream villages. Access to electricity and waters in these areas will generate more economic opportunities for the local residents, both men and women. And of course, we all know how critical flood control can be. I understand that both of these dams, although not completely finished at this point, played a significant role in mitigating flood damage to communities downstream. The U.S. hopes to become more involved in the energy sector in the coming years. I know that other donors and the international financial institutions are also working closely with the government of Pakistan to support the energy sector. Last week, I attended the third session of the U.S.-Pakistan Strategic Dialogue in Washington, where both our governments continue their mutual effort to broaden and deepen our bilateral relationship. Both energy sector reform and women's empowerment were key elements of the strategic dialogue. It was clear in the course of the many meetings that I attended that both the governments of Pakistan and the United States recognize that the major security, environmental, economic development, and governance challenges of our time cannot be solved without the participation of women at all levels of society. But the same holds for energy sector reform. It too is important to all of these developments. Women are not a special interest group in renewable energy. They are mainstream users and mainstream players. Without their involvement, renewable energy projects risk being inappropriate and failing, frankly. Women are the main users of household energy in developing and industrial countries. They influence and often make themselves many family purchases related to energy. They are experienced entrepreneurs in energy-related enterprises. Women's organizations are effective promoters of new technologies. While Pakistan has increasing numbers of skilled female graduates, like our senator here, women are still underutilized as a resource in the energy sector. We commend recent developments in the political realm for women. The Pakistan Constitution guarantees equal rights to all citizens and outlaws discrimination on the basis of sex. Parliament recently passed a bill outlawing the harassment of women in the workplace. Civil society has long been active in advocating for women's political, social, and economic empowerment. With these actions and engagement, Pakistan has taken significant steps to empower women, but more can and should be done. The energy sector should embrace women employees to a greater extent. Even though many young women are graduating at the top of their classes and more female engineers are enrolled in universities, very few women are in the power sector. By expanding the role of women in the energy sector, Pakistan can tap into this important domestic resource and empower its bright, capable women to contribute to achieving energy security and advance the overall development of their country. I know that many of you in government, the private sector, and civil society are working to empower women in this great country, and others of you are focused on reforming its energy sector. Both endeavors are critical to help Pakistan accelerate economic growth and improve the quality of life for all its citizens. We all know that progress in both areas requires some fundamental changes in practices and attitude. Such fundamental change can be difficult, but making fuller use of the capacities of women and accelerating energy reform are both critical and cannot be delayed. That is why, again, I applaud the efforts made by the government of Pakistan and you personally, Mr. President. I thank Senator Zuberi and the Women in Energy for their advocacy and their commitment to mobilizing the tremendous resources that the women of Pakistan can contribute to reforming the energy sector. I sincerely hope that all participants take full advantage of the conference to generate concrete, practical, and productive ideas for advancing Pakistan's goal of energy security and independence. Thank you all for your attention.